What if the loose Washington quarter in your pocket right now is secretly worth far more than 25 cents? From 1967 to 1992, certain quarters have stunned collectors with surprising values and rare conditions. Hidden mint errors, flawless high grades, and special proof versions can turn an ordinary coin into a collector's dream. Before you spend another quarter, take a closer look. Your small change could hold a big surprise. First up, today we're diving deep into one of the most talked about modern coins in American pocket change history, the 1988 Washington quarter. At first glance, it looks ordinary. Millions were made. People spent them without a second thought. But here's the twist. Under the right condition, with the right mint characteristics, and especially with rare errors, this simple 25-cent coin could become a collector's treasure. Not because every 1988 quarter is worth millions, that's a myth, but because certain rare examples can sell for thousands of dollars, and in extreme cases, the right combination of condition and rarity can push values far beyond face value. Let's separate fact from hype and uncover the real power of this coin. The 1988 quarter belongs to the long-running Washington Quarter series, first introduced in 1932 to honor the 200th birthday of George Washington. The design features the portrait of George Washington on the obverse and the eagle on the reverse, a classic look that remained unchanged until the state quarter program began in 1999. In 1988, these quarters were minted in Philadelphia and Denver for circulation, and in San Francisco for proof versions. The majority were struck in copper-nickel-clad composition, meaning they are not silver like pre-1965 quarters. This already tells us something important. Metal value is not what makes a 1988 quarter valuable. Rarity and condition do. Now, here's where things become interesting. The Philadelphia Mint struck hundreds of millions of 1988 quarters, and Denver did the same. Because of this high mintage, most 1988 quarters in circulated condition are worth exactly 25 cents. Even in lightly circulated shape, you might only get 50 cents to $1. That may sound disappointing, but remember, coin value is all about condition and uniqueness. The real money starts when we talk about high-grade uncirculated coins and mint errors. Condition is everything in modern coin collecting. A coin graded MS-65 is considered gem uncirculated. An MS-67 or MS-68 example becomes much harder to find. By the time you reach MS-68 or higher, the coin must be nearly flawless, sharp strike, blazing luster, no visible scratches, and perfect eye appeal. In 1988 quarters, coins graded MS-67 can sell for hundreds of dollars. MS-68 examples are extremely rare and can cross into the low thousands at auction. The higher the grade, the fewer surviving examples exist, which drives the price upward. Proof coins from San Francisco add another layer of value. These coins were made for collectors and feature mirror-like fields with frosted details. A deep cameo proof in perfect PR70 condition can sell for significantly more than a standard circulated coin. While not typically worth millions, perfect graded proof quarters can reach hundreds of dollars depending on demand. The appeal comes from their flawless surfaces and sharp contrast, which collectors love. Now let's talk about the real jackpot category, mint errors. Error coins can dramatically increase value. A 1988 quarter with a double die error, off-center strike, clipped planchet, or wrong planchet strike can multiply its value many times over. For example, if a 1988 quarter were mistakenly struck on a planchet mint for another denomination, its value could jump into the thousands depending on authenticity and condition. Dramatic off-center errors with full dates visible are also highly collectible. These are rare because quality control usually removes them before release. There is also a specific variety that advanced collectors pay attention to, the 1988 quarter reverse hub transition variety. In some cases, design details differ slightly due to hub changes. When subtle design modifications occur and only a small batch is produced before correction, collectors hunt them aggressively. These small design differences can turn an ordinary coin into a specialty collectible worth far more than face value. But let's address the million-dollar coin claim honestly. No regular 1988 Washington quarter has sold for millions of dollars. Claims like that often appear in viral videos designed to create excitement. However, that does not mean valuable coins don't exist. In the coin world, values are determined by rarity, demand, and grade. If a truly unique error were discovered, something never seen before, it could theoretically reach extremely high auction numbers. but that would require authentication by professional grading services and strong collector competition. The grading companies that matter most in determining serious value are PCGS and NGC. When a coin is professionally graded and sealed in a holder, collectors trust its condition and authenticity. A high-grade 1988 quarter certified by one of these companies commands far higher prices than a raw coin. This is because buyers know exactly what they are getting. Without certification, even a beautiful coin might struggle to reach premium value. Another factor that can push value higher is population reports. These reports show how many coins exist in each grade. If only a handful of 1988 quarters are graded at MS68, collectors compete aggressively. Scarcity within a grade level creates upward price pressure. That's how modern coins with large mintages can still become expensive in elite condition. Auction history also shapes value. When two determined collectors both want the same rare, high-grade coin, bidding wars happen. Prices can skyrocket beyond previous records. This is how certain modern coins unexpectedly reach impressive amounts. It's not just about age, it's about supply versus demand at the highest quality levels. Now imagine finding a 1988 quarter in your pocket change. What should you look for? First, check for mint mark. Second, inspect for sharp detail and minimal wear. Third, examine for unusual features like doubling or misalignment. Most coins will be ordinary, but sometimes one coin stands out. That's where opportunity lives. Careful examination and patience are key in coin collecting success. The dream of overnight fortune is powerful, but real wealth in coin collecting usually comes from knowledge, discipline, and long-term strategy. Instead of expecting every 1988 quarter to make you a billionaire overnight, focus on understanding grading, error types, and collector demand. A rare, certified high-grade example could be worth hundreds or even thousands, which is still life-changing for a 25-cent coin. In conclusion, the 1988 Washington quarter is not automatically a million-dollar coin. However, under exceptional circumstances, flawless mint state condition, rare varieties, or ultra-low population grades, it can become a highly valuable collectible. The power is not in the year alone, but in condition, rarity, and authentication. So never ignore your pocket change. Because while most coins are common, the rare one hiding in plain sight could hold far more value than you ever imagined. Second up, imagine holding a simple 25-cent coin in your hand, a coin most people ignore, toss into jars, or spend without a second thought. Now imagine that same coin being worth thousands of dollars, maybe even more under extraordinary circumstances. Today we're uncovering the truth about the 1980 Washington quarter from the United States. Not fantasy, not hype, but the real, powerful, collector-driven potential hidden inside this ordinary-looking coin. Because while most 1980 quarters are worth face value, a tiny percentage, in the right condition, can shock you with their true market power. The 1980 Washington quarter is part of the long-running Washington quarter series that began in 1932. By 1980, the coin had already become a staple of American daily life. It features the familiar portrait of George Washington on the front and the majestic eagle on the reverse, a design that continued until the state quarter program changed the reverse in 1999. In 1980, these quarters were produced for circulation in massive numbers, primarily at the Philadelphia and Denver mints, with proof versions struck in San Francisco for collectors. The standard coins were copper-nickel clad, not silver, meaning their base metal value is only worth face value. So what makes one special? Condition, rarity, errors. Here's the reality. Hundreds of millions of 1980 quarters were produced. Because of that, most examples found in circulation today are worth exactly 25 cents. Even lightly worn coins rarely exceed $1 in value. But in the world of coin collecting, the true money isn't in common circulation coins. It's in pristine, untouched examples and rare mint mistakes. That's where the story changes dramatically. Condition is everything in modern coins. A coin that has never entered circulation and shows nowhere is classified as mint state. But even among uncirculated coins, quality varies. Small scratches, weak strikes, or dull luster reduce value. When a 1980 quarter reaches higher certified grades like MS67 or above, it becomes scarce. Very few survive in such flawless condition because most coins were stored improperly or handled carelessly. High-grade examples certified by professional grading services can sell for hundreds and sometimes thousands, depending on demand. Now imagine a 1980 quarter graded at an extremely high level like MS-68. These coins must have razor-sharp details, brilliant luster, and nearly perfect surfaces. In this elite category, population numbers shrink dramatically. When supply becomes tiny and collectors compete for the best of the best, auction prices can climb fast. While not reaching millions in confirmed public sales, exceptional high-grade examples have commanded impressive amounts relative to their face value. Proof coins from 1980 add another dimension. These were specially struck for collectors with polished dies and mirror-like surfaces. A deep cameo proof with strong contrast between frosted design and reflective background is highly desirable. In perfect PR70 condition, meaning absolute perfection under magnification, values can reach strong premiums. Perfection in modern proof coins attracts serious collectors who want flawless registry sets. But the real thrill comes from mint errors. Errors are accidents during production, and they can transform an ordinary coin into a collector's prize. A 1980 quarter with a dramatic off-center strike, double die error, clipped planchet, or struck through error can become highly valuable. If a coin were mistakenly struck on the wrong metal planchet, for example, a foreign coin blank, its value could skyrocket. These are extremely rare because quality control usually catches mistakes before coins leave the mint. That rarity is what fuels demand. Double die varieties, where design elements appear slightly duplicated due to hubbing misalignment, are especially exciting. If strong doubling is visible on lettering or Washington's features, collectors take notice. Not all doubling is valuable. Machine doubling is common and less desirable, but true hub doubling can significantly raise value when verified by experts. Another factor that drives value upward is certification. Coins graded and authenticated by respected services are trusted in the marketplace. Without certification, even a high-quality coin may struggle to achieve its full potential price. Certification confirms the grade, authenticity, and condition, giving buyers confidence. When only a small number of coins are graded at the top level, competition intensifies. Auction dynamics also matter. When two determined collectors both want the finest known example of a 1980 quarter, bidding wars happen. That's how unexpected price spikes occur. It's not about age alone. It's about the intersection of rarity, condition, and collector desire. Even modern coins can become expensive if they meet those criteria. Now let's address the dream of becoming a billionaire overnight from a 1980 quarter. Realistically, no regular 1980 Washington quarter is sold for millions of dollars in verified public auctions. Viral claims often exaggerate values to create excitement. However, that does not mean valuable pieces don't exist. A rare error in pristine condition could potentially reach very high numbers, but it would need to be truly extraordinary and verified beyond doubt. If you're searching your own change, focus on sharp details, strong luster, and unusual characteristics. Check mint marks. Inspect edges. Look for doubling or off-center strikes. Store any promising coins carefully in protective holders. Condition can deteriorate quickly if mishandled. Preservation is key to maintaining value. The power of the 1980 Washington quarter is not in blind hype, it's in informed collecting. Knowledge transforms pocket change into opportunity. While most 1980 quarters are common, a tiny percentage in exceptional condition or with rare errors can command serious attention in the collector market. That's what makes coin collecting thrilling, the possibility that something ordinary might hide something extraordinary. In the end, the 1980 Washington quarter is a reminder that value is not always obvious. It depends on condition, rarity, certification, and demand. No guaranteed millions. No automatic fortune. But under the right circumstances, this humble 25-cent coin can be worth far more than anyone standing in a checkout line would ever imagine. And sometimes that possibility alone is enough to make every coin worth a second look. Third up, close your eyes for a moment and imagine this. A simple 1967 Washington quarter sitting quietly in an old drawer, forgotten for decades. No shine, no spotlight, no attention. Just another coin from the past. But what if that ordinary-looking quarter held extraordinary potential? What if, under the right conditions, it could be worth far more than 25 cents, maybe hundreds, thousands, or in rare dream scenarios, life-changing money? Today we're uncovering the truth about the 1967 Washington quarter, separating hype from reality, and revealing exactly what makes this coin powerful in the collector world. The 1967 Washington quarter was struck during one of the most unusual periods in American coin history. The United States was facing a coin shortage in the mid-1960s. Silver coins were disappearing from circulation because people were hoarding them for their metal value. To solve this crisis, the U.S. Mint removed silver from quarters starting in 1965. By 1967, quarters were made from a copper core with a nickel outer layer, what collectors call clad composition. That means a 1967 quarter does not contain silver like earlier pre-1965 quarters. Its value does not come from precious metal. Instead, its potential lies in condition, rarity, and mint errors. One fascinating detail about 1967 quarters is that they do not have mint marks. During 1965, 1966, and 1967, the U.S. Mint removed mint marks from coins to discourage collectors from hoarding certain locations' coins. So every 1967 quarter looks the same in terms of mint identification. This detail alone makes the year unique. The absence of mint marks adds historical interest, but it does not automatically increase value. Millions upon millions were produced, making most examples very common today. In everyday, circulated condition, a 1967 Washington quarter is worth face value, 25 cents. Even coins in lightly worn condition may only sell for a small premium. This is where many viral claims mislead people. You may hear dramatic stories about million-dollar quarters, but standard 1967 quarters are not rare. However, when we step into the world of high-grade uncirculated coins, everything changes. Condition is the king of value. A coin that has never been circulated, never rubbed in pockets, and never scratched by other coins can be classified as mint state. But not all uncirculated coins are equal. Many were stored carelessly in bags, causing marks and surface damage. A 1967 quarter graded at MS65 is considered gem quality. But when you move into MS67 or higher, the number of surviving examples drops sharply. Coins at MS67 Plus or MS68 must have nearly flawless surfaces, blazing luster, and crisp details. These elite examples are scarce and can sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars at auction. Now let's talk about special mint sets, often called SMS coins. Instead of traditional proof sets in 1967, the Mint produced special mint sets with better-than circulation quality. These coins have sharper strikes and smoother surfaces than regular coins, though not quite as mirror-like as proofs. A 1967 SMS quarter in deep cameo condition, where the design appears frosted against a reflective background, is highly desirable. If graded at the highest levels like SP68 or SP69, values can climb significantly because very few coins survive in such pristine condition. The real excitement begins when mint errors enter the conversation. Error coins are accidents during production, and they can transform an ordinary quarter into something extraordinary. A 1967 quarter struck off-center, with part of the design missing, can command strong premiums, especially if the date remains visible. Double die errors, where letters or numbers appear double due to die misalignment, are also highly collectible when genuine. Not all doubling is valuable, but true double dies verified by experts can multiply a coin's value. Imagine discovering a 1967 quarter struck on the wrong planchet, perhaps intended for another denomination. That kind of dramatic mint mistake is rare and highly valuable. Collectors compete fiercely for unusual errors because they represent moments when the mint's strict quality control failed. The more dramatic and visually obvious the error, the stronger the demand tends to be. Professional grading plays a powerful role in value. A coin certified and encapsulated by respected grading companies gains credibility. Buyers trust the grade, authenticity, and condition. If only a tiny number of 1967 quarters exist in top grades according to population reports, collectors seeking registry set perfection may drive prices higher through competitive bidding. That's how modern clad coins sometimes surprise the market with impressive auction results. Now let's confront the million-dollar dream. No regular 1967 Washington quarter has verified public sales reaching millions of dollars. Claims suggesting overnight billionaire status are exaggerations. However, that does not mean valuable examples don't exist. An extraordinary mint error in perfect condition, unique and historically significant, could theoretically bring an enormous price under the right circumstances. But that would be an extreme exception, not the rule. The true hidden power of the 1967 quarter lies in knowledge. Understanding grading standards, identifying authentic errors, and recognizing exceptional surface preservation separates ordinary coins from premium ones. Most 1967 quarters in jars and drawers are common, but a tiny fraction, those untouched by time, preserved with care, or struck with dramatic mint errors, hold real collector value. If you're examining your own coins, look closely at the details in Washington's hair, the eagle's feathers, and the sharpness of the lettering. Inspect for unusual doubling or misalignment. Preserve any promising coin carefully to avoid damage. Even small scratches can reduce grade and dramatically affect value. The 1967 Washington quarter tells a story of transition in American coinage, a shift away from silver, a time of mint mark removal, and an era of special mint sets. While it may not automatically make anyone a billionaire overnight, it remains an intriguing collectible when found in elite condition or with rare mint errors. The excitement is not in blind hope, but in careful observation and understanding. In the end, the 1967 quarter reminds us that value is not always visible at first glance. Most are worth face value, yes, but the rare high-grade survivor or dramatic error coin can command serious money in the collector world. That's the magic of numismatics. Within something ordinary, there is always the possibility, however small, of something extraordinary. Fourth up, imagine pulling a 1990 Washington quarter from your pocket and almost tossing it aside. Just another ordinary 25-cent coin, worn by time, passed through thousands of hands. Now, pause. What if that small piece of metal carried hidden potential? What if, under the right conditions, that simple coin could be worth far more than its face value? Today, we dive deep into the fascinating reality of the 1990 Washington quarter, uncovering what truly gives it power in the collector market and whether it holds the kind of value that could genuinely change someone's financial future. The 1990 Washington quarter belongs to the long-running Washington series that began in 1932. By 1990, the design had already become iconic, the left-facing portrait of George Washington on the front and the heraldic eagle with outstretched wings on the back. This design had been part of everyday American life for decades. The coins were struck for circulation in Philadelphia and Denver, while special proof versions were produced in San Francisco for collectors. Unlike older quarters minted before 1965, the 1990 quarter is made of a copper core layered with nickel. There is no silver content, meaning the coin's base metal does not add intrinsic value beyond 25 cents. Because millions of 1990 quarters were produced, the vast majority found in circulation today are worth exactly face value. If you find one in pocket change that shows normal wear, it remains a standard coin. Even lightly circulated examples typically carry only a small premium, perhaps slightly above face value. This is where many exaggerated claims begin to distort reality. Not every old coin is rare, and not every quarter from decades ago holds massive wealth. But the true story begins when we talk about condition and scarcity at the highest levels. In coin collecting, condition is everything. A coin that has never been used in circulation is called uncirculated or mint state. However, simply being uncirculated is not enough to create major value. The grading scale goes much deeper, measuring tiny imperfections, surface marks, luster quality, and strike sharpness. A 1990 quarter graded at MS65 is considered gem quality and may hold a modest premium. But once you move into MS67 or MS68 territory, you enter a far rarer category. At these elite levels, coins must appear nearly flawless, with brilliant luster and almost no visible defects, even under magnification. High-grade 1990 quarters can sell for hundreds of dollars, and in especially rare cases, potentially more if population numbers are extremely low. Population reports track how many coins exist in each grade. When only a handful are graded at the very top, collectors competing for the finest known examples can drive prices higher through auction bidding. It's not the year alone that matters, it's how few perfect survivors exist. Proof coins from 1990 offer another exciting layer of value. These coins were struck specifically for collectors using polished dies and specially prepared planchets. The result is a coin with mirror-like fields and frosted design elements. A deep cameo proof, where the contrast between design and background is dramatic, is highly desirable. If such a coin achieves a perfect PR70 grade, meaning absolute perfection under magnification, it can command strong premiums compared to standard circulation coins. Now we step into the most thrilling category, mint errors. Error coins are the unexpected accidents that occur during production. These are the coins that ignite collector passion. A 1990 quarter struck off center, showing part of the design missing but the date still visible, can be worth significantly more than face value. Double die errors, where lettering or numbers appear clearly doubled due to die misalignment, can also increase value when verified as true hub doubling. Dramatic errors always attract attention because they are rare by nature. There are also cases of coins struck on incorrect planchets. Imagine a 1990 quarter accidentally struck on a blank mint for another denomination or foreign coin. Such a mistake would be extremely rare and potentially very valuable. The more visually dramatic and authentic the error, the greater the collector demand. However, these examples are not common and must be authenticated by professionals to confirm legitimacy. Professional certification is a powerful factor in determining value. A 1990 quarter graded and sealed by a respected grading service gains credibility in the market. Buyers feel confident knowing the coin's authenticity and grade have been verified. Without certification, even a beautiful coin may struggle to achieve its maximum potential price. Certified high-grade coins often perform better in competitive auctions. Now let's address the dream scenario, becoming a billionaire overnight because of a 1990 quarter. Realistically, no verified public sale has shown a regular 1990 Washington quarter reaching millions of dollars. Viral claims often exaggerate values for excitement. That said, certain rare modern coins with unique errors or ultra-high grades have surprised the market with impressive prices. The possibility exists, but it requires extraordinary circumstances, not ordinary examples. The true magic of the 1990 Washington quarter lies in its potential under rare conditions. A coin preserved in perfect mint state, with blazing luster and flawless surfaces, combined with low certified population numbers, can command serious attention. Add a dramatic mint error into the equation, and collector interest intensifies. This combination of rarity, condition, and demand creates real value. When searching your own coins, pay attention to sharp detail in Washington's hair and the eagle's feathers. Look for unusual doubling, misalignment, or incomplete strikes. Examine the edges for abnormalities. Protect any promising finds in proper holders to prevent damage. A small scratch today could mean a lower grade tomorrow. The 1990 Washington quarter may not automatically transform someone into a billionaire, but it represents the fascinating world of modern coin collecting, where even common coins can become uncommon treasures under the right conditions. The excitement comes from the hunt, the knowledge, and the understanding of what makes a coin special. Most 1990 quarters will remain simple pocket change, but a rare, high-grade, or error example could carry surprising value. In the end, the power of this coin is not in hype, it's in awareness. It's about recognizing that within something ordinary lies the possibility of something extraordinary. The 1990 Washington quarter stands as proof that value depends on condition, rarity, and collector demand. And sometimes the difference between 25 cents and a remarkable payday is hidden in the smallest details. Fifth up, picture this for a moment. A 1992 Washington quarter resting quietly in a coin jar, mixed with dozens of ordinary coins, ignored for years. It looks common. It feels common. Yet under the right circumstances, that small 25-cent piece can carry surprising power in the collector's market. Not because every 1992 quarter is rare, and not because millions are hiding in plain sight, but because condition, rarity, and unusual mint characteristics can transform an everyday coin into something far more valuable than its face value. The 1992 Washington quarter belongs to the long-running Washington series that began in 1932. By 1992, the design had become deeply familiar across America. George Washington's left-facing portrait on the front and the heraldic eagle on the reverse. These coins were struck for circulation in Philadelphia and Denver, while special proof versions were produced in San Francisco for collectors. The standard 1992 quarters were made of copper-nickel clad, meaning they contain no silver. Their metal value is equal to their face value. So any premium comes entirely from collector demand, condition, and scarcity. Because the mintage numbers in 1992 were high, most examples found in circulation today are worth exactly 25 cents. Even lightly worn coins rarely sell for more than a small premium. This is important to understand clearly. The year alone does not create value. Age alone does not create value. What separates an ordinary 1992 quarter from a valuable one is preservation and uniqueness. In the world of coin collecting, condition is everything. A 1992 quarter that has never entered circulation is called uncirculated or mint state. But even among uncirculated coins, quality varies dramatically. Many were stored in bags at the mint, where coins bumped into each other and developed small marks. A coin graded MS-65 is considered gem quality. However, when a 1992 quarter reaches MS-67 or MS-68, it enters rare territory. At those levels, surfaces must be nearly flawless, luster must be bright and original, and the strike must be sharp and clean. High-grade examples of the 1992 Washington quarter have sold for hundreds of dollars, and in certain auction environments, even more. The reason is population scarcity. Very few coins survive in ultra-high grades because most were mishandled, spent, or improperly stored. When collectors compete for the finest known examples to complete registry sets, bidding can become intense. That competitive energy is what drives prices upward, not hype, but scarcity combined with demand. The proof coins from 1992 add another dimension of potential value. The San Francisco Mint produced proof quarters with mirror-like surfaces and frosted details. A deep cameo example, where the contrast between the portrait and background is dramatic, is especially desirable. If such a coin achieves a perfect PR70 grade, meaning absolute perfection under magnification, its value increases significantly compared to ordinary circulation pieces. Perfection in modern proofs is rare because even tiny imperfections lower the grade. There is another important detail about 1992 that makes it historically interesting. It marked the beginning of the return of silver-proof coins for collectors after decades of absence in circulation coinage. Special 90% silver-proof quarters were included in certain collector sets. These silver proofs carry intrinsic metal value in addition to collectible appeal. While they are not worth millions, their silver content and limited mintage make them more desirable than standard clad versions. Mint errors are where excitement truly builds. A 1992 quarter struck off-center, showing a dramatic shift in design while keeping the date visible, can command strong premiums. Double die errors, where lettering or design elements appear clearly double due to die misalignment during production, can also increase value when verified. The more visible and dramatic the error, the stronger the collector interest. There are also rare possibilities such as wrong planchet strikes. If a 1992 quarter were mistakenly struck on a blank mint for another denomination or on an experimental planchet, its value could increase dramatically. These events are extremely rare because of strict mint quality control, but when such mistakes escape into circulation, they become treasures for collectors. Authentication is critical in these cases to confirm legitimacy. Professional grading plays a major role in maximizing value. A 1992 quarter certified by a respected grading service gains trust in the marketplace. Buyers are willing to pay more when the coin's authenticity and condition are guaranteed. Population reports showing very few coins in top grades create scarcity pressure. When collectors realize only a handful exist at the highest level, competition can push auction prices far beyond expectations. Now let's address the powerful dream of overnight wealth. No verified public sale has shown a standard 1992 Washington quarter selling for millions of dollars. Claims suggesting automatic billionaire status are exaggerated. However, it is absolutely true that rare high-grade or dramatic error coins can be worth far more than face value. The key difference between fantasy and reality lies in documentation, certification, and true rarity. The magic of the 1992 Washington quarter is not in blind hope but in careful examination. Look closely at Washington's hair details. Examine the eagle's feathers for sharpness. Check for doubling in the lettering. Inspect edges and surfaces for unusual characteristics. Store any promising coin in protective holders to prevent damage. Preservation protects potential value. Most 1992 quarters in circulation are common, but a tiny percentage stand out. Those preserved in pristine mint state condition or struck with dramatic mint errors can command serious interest in the numismatic market. The thrill of coin collecting comes from this possibility, the idea that something ordinary can, under rare circumstances, become extraordinary. In the end, the 1992 Washington quarter represents opportunity guided by knowledge. It will not automatically make someone a billionaire overnight. Yet in elite condition or with rare mint errors, it can be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. The difference between face value and significant value lies in detail, rarity, and collector demand. And sometimes the smallest coin can hold the biggest surprise for those who know what to look for.